Oh, Mr. John Black, super chemist. We're on part 2 of warning, warning, warning. The Islams are coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're gonna get us all. Keep in mind, a year ago or whatever, I would be like, I'm the guy who would be like, man, you can't be discriminating against the Muslims. You can't, you know, just because a small fraction of them are, radicalized. You can't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that anymore, okay? Like I said, they have like three main things that they're going to do when they get here besides rioting. They're going to try to get Trump in trouble. And they want to divide us. But another thing that they mainly want to do, okay, is the freedom of speech. They're going to get rid of our freedom of speech. You think that our freedom of speech is already chipped away? That ain't nothing. Wait till they get here. And they're already here. They just don't have enough numbers where they're ready to riot and ready to go around to all the churches and be like, or stores that are putting up Christmas trees and say, you can't do that. That offends us. And then everyone takes down their Christmas stuff. You know what I mean? Just wait. Just wait. Like I said, Trump, maybe it'll stop. It won't happen. Because Trump is going to get rid of everybody, hopefully. But, let's see. And the reason why I changed my mind on it is because of facts, data. You know what I mean? Yeah. I used to think that about Muslims. Now I don't. And it's not like I think that I still think that it's just a small fraction of the Muslims. If you go across the entire world, it's a small portion of them that are radicalized. If you look into the data, when these people go into a country, every time, 100% of the time, they end up growing in numbers, and then they start rioting and ripping the country apart because they want their law, their Muslim law, to be, better than the government law, like to supersede the actual law. They want their laws to be in place. And these people, and they'll say, and what kills me is Christians will be like, look at all this evil in their Bible. Man, you got the same evil in your Bible. Do these Christians even realize that the Quran is literally like, what? I'm making up numbers on the percentage, but literally like 90% of the Quran is just taken from the Bible. Like all the stories, because it's an Abrahamic religion, which means that everything that Abraham did is in the Quran. Everything. The Genesis in there, Noah, all the stories in the Old Testament are in the whatever. And then all the Gospels, Martin, Luther, John, whatever the other ones, they're all in there in the Quran. Okay? So, but every time they go in, they just they destroy the countries. And you know what's funny is even the Muslim countries will not accept Muslims from another Muslim country because they know even the Muslim countries don't let Muslims in. Don't you get it? That's how bad it is. And when they do let them in, they got to get them all out, kick them out, man, because they're crazy. But yeah, see, and what they do is, even the ones, if they don't want to integrate, what it is they start forming these little hubs, you know what I mean? A society within a society. You know what I mean? And they never, and this leads to non-integration, man. Okay? Just like, look at New York City. You got Chinatown, Mexican town, whatever. Name some nationalities town. They got these all different groups over here and over here. What do you think is in Chinatown? You think those Asians in Chinatown, they care about, learning English? Why would they learn English? They could live in Chinatown their whole life and never leave Chinatown, basically. Never, they don't need to learn English. They have no motivation to learn English. They have no motivation to integrate. All it does, though, is it's all about they just want us divided. Okay? They act like diversity is about inclusion. It's never about inclusion. It's about dividing us into boxes. You know what I mean? Just like the chip they want to put in our thing, or the computer chip, so they can turn it off. So if we protest or we talk bad about them, our bank stuff is going to be, all the money is going to be on that chip. So they can just turn the chip off. They'll say it's how we need. All the poor people can't get bank accounts and can't get this. We got to have a chip for them to include them. No, it isn't about inclusion. It's about exclusion. Because if you're not, because once they do it, and they got everybody, the whole world on this global thing with money, and there's no other money except on this chip. It's about exclusion. It's about the power to exclude you from the chip, to just turn it off. So now you can't, so you better shut up if you want to buy food or, pay your rent. They will just make societies within societies, and these societies within societies that are Muslim, they start doing Shari law, which is Muslim law, and they just act like the rest of the laws in the rest of the United States don't matter. You know what I mean? They're basically like the Amish, but the difference is that the Amish doesn't try to force their crap on you. You know what I mean? They live and let live. The Muslims, once these little hubs grow, these little Muslim cities within our country, yeah. Once they grow, they're going to be, oh man. Because then they get, it's just, they only see that Muslim law in that Muslim world, you know what I mean? And then they're starting to, it's not good. These people are crazy, okay? Just like the Christians. If the Christians were not cherry picker Christians, they would be just like the Muslims. That's why it kills me. The Muslims are just acting like Muslims. The Christians are just, they aren't acting like Christians. They're acting like cherry pickers. They're not even really Christians. That's why they're somewhat normal in society, and they don't try to force their whatever, because they're cherry pickers. If they weren't cherry pickers, they'd be running around trying to kill everyone that wasn't Christian. But yeah, they will just division, segregation. That's what diversity is. That's all diversity is. It's making it. How does I got a city here 2 feet away from me, right next door to me. They got 8,000 illegal aliens and 4,000 citizens. The illegal aliens speak 50 different languages. How does that's not division? When no one, even the illegal aliens can't talk to each other, because they all talk different languages. Nobody can speak to each other in that city. No one. So they have little groups. This little group speaks this language. This little group speaks 6 languages. It's all about division. Having all these, multicultural. No, you have American culture and that's it. Or that's all that you should care about. You don't have to care about other cultures. These are keep in mind, these are Nazis. They're just like the Christians in Nazi Germany in the 40s. They just used the power of Christianity. Once they got control, then then you knew they were Nazis, man. But it's the same way with these Muslims, man. They're just Nazis, man. They want to take over. They're going to start with taking. That's what I say, the freedom of speech. Once they take that, that's it. You can't fight them because you're not allowed to speak, right? How can you fight them if you can't tell anyone what they're doing? Right? If you ain't allowed to protest, how are you going to? They can, at that point, they can just come out and say, we're legalized eating babies, but you got to eat them while they're alive. You know. Now what? I can't stand up and say, hey, it's wrong to eat babies, especially when they're alive. You know, I can't protest against it. You know, the news and TV shows and movies, they can't say anything about it or make movies about it because your freedom of speech, you know, is gone. You know, but this country, I swear to God, we need to get back to, you know, this country is not founded on immigrants. You know what this country is founded on? It's founded on this one saying, F you, okay? If you don't like what I'm saying and doing, F you. Go over there and, you know, hey, this is America. This is free, you know, this is still a free country. Or at least it used to be a free country, you know what I mean? But it's okay to do that. You don't have to be nice to just because you're not nice to somebody, you know, you ain't taking all your money out of your pocket and giving it to them, taking your coat off and giving it to them, taking off your shoes and giving it to them. Just because you're not doing that, that doesn't mean you're mean to that person, okay? Okay? That just means well, it actually means you're an idiot if you're just giving everything away to someone that's a total stranger. But yeah, we need to realize that it's not xenophobic or racist or mean just because you don't want people from the Middle East and, you know, Muslims and certain countries to come here. It doesn't make you racist. See how much time I got here. So, and I also want to remind you that it's not nice. You're not a nice person if, you know, if you walk by and you see someone that fell on the ground, you stop and you help them up, you dust them off, you know, and then 10 feet later, you see a guy that's walking down the road and you push him onto the ground so he falls on the ground, you spit on him and walk away and laugh. You are not a good person. Just because you help that person up, the first person up, it doesn't make you a good person. You're an evil person because you push people down and you spit on them, okay? Well, I don't care how many people you help stand up. They can't overcome the fact if you're knocking someone down, spitting them down every time you help someone up, right? But yet somehow they think that they can help these third world country poor people, right? Bring them into these poor neighborhoods in the United States, and then all those poor people in the United States, since you triple the population, you know, but the housing is the same amount, that means housing just tripled. That means poor people are going to go homeless because you can't handle Biden inflation and this increase in rent, you know what I mean, in housing. What do you think happens to the same? It's all about supply and demand. If you have more people and you have the same amount of houses, okay, it's going to be a lot of rent. Same with jobs. If you triple the population, double the population in a poor area, right, the jobs stay the same. But now you got the businesses have 2-3 times as many people to choose from. What do you think happens with wages? Now everyone, not just the illegal aliens, are going to get jobs that are low pay. Now everyone in the poor areas. And if you love black people and you believe they're all poor, well, then you must hate black people because that's what happens in the poor neighborhoods, right? If you're just pushing me down, that's what's funny. These liberal pieces of garbage, these elitist rich people, you know, live in their middle class house, having everything, but they ain't happy unless they're kicking some poor person in the head, right? They kick me in the head, make me pay for everything. My wages go down, my rent goes up, everything. But no one in my neighborhood speaks the same language. Well, they live in a neighborhood where their job ain't affected, their rent isn't affected. Everyone still speaks English in their neighborhood, but they act like you're a good person. You ain't no good person. You're evil. And you're a traitor. And I don't know why you hate poor people so much that you would even help illegals, criminals, over poor people.
just because they're citizens and law-abiding. Crap, you pieces of crap.